Hey, awesome people. Welcome back to another fractions video. Mr. C here with you. Make sure if you learn anything new at all, click the like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. Today's video is going to be our practice problems video for subtracting fractions with like denominators. We are not using a model in this video, so make sure you are ready for this next step. If you're not ready for that, check out in the description below all of our 4th grade fractions playlist videos. They are in a playlist. It's linked in the description. Check that out. Also, 3rd grade fractions playlist. And you know what? We've also got 2nd grade fractions all in their own playlist. They're in the description below. Check those out. Again, this video is going to be the practice problems video, subtracting fractions with like denominators without using a model. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be here with you today. One thing to remember, growth mindset. Make sure you are going to use your mistakes to help you get better. Just because you can't do something, it just means that you can't do it yet. Stick with it. Look for challenges. Keep working hard. The more we practice, the better we will get. So, this video here, we are not going to be drawing models when we are subtracting. If you need that practice, make sure you check out the playlist for 4th grade fractions in the description below. This here, we are just going to be using the equations to solve, okay, using the subtraction. Okay, so if you missed the teaching video, check it out. It is in the description. This here is just going to be our practice problem. So let's get started with our black fractions here on the left side of the screen. We've got two fractions, 3/3 minus 2/3. First thing I'm doing is I am noticing the denominators. All right, I notice that they are the same. Because they are the same, that means that we are going to be able to solve them without any extra steps. So make sure you check that. Second thing I'm doing, in my brain, I am picturing what this looks like. Before I even solve it and write it down on the screen, I'm going to solve it in my head. I'm going to try to make sure I can picture what I'm seeing. So in my head, I'm seeing a circle, and that circle is broken up into 3 equal sized pieces, and all 3 of them are colored in. So it looks like I have one whole. So I've got 3/3, 3/3 minus 2/3. So I've got 3/3. All 3 of those thirds are colored in. I'm going to take away 2/3. I'm picturing that in my head. Now let's see if we can solve it. Remember, you need to be able to see this, okay? And I'm going to say that this time here to make sure you understand it. Make sure you can picture these two fractions in your head and what we mean when we are subtracting them. If you're not at that point yet, draw a model. Do not just solve these problems super quickly, okay? You need to make sure you understand what we're doing. Make sure you can see it, because if you're not taking the time to be able to see what we're doing, you're not going to understand why we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing what we're doing. Slow down. It doesn't matter if you get it done in 5 seconds or 5 minutes. Okay? Math is about getting it correct. It's not about doing it quickly. Slow down. All right. So let's subtract these numerators. If I subtract the numerators, 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. What about the denominators? Do I subtract them? No. Make sure you don't subtract the denominators. That's something that students, they get to going too quick and they subtract them and they make a mistake. Slow yourself down. We never subtract the denominators. It stays the same. This is exactly what I was picturing in my head. Were you picturing the same thing? In the model that you had in your head, did it give you 1/3? So, if it didn't, if you're a little stuck or you want to double check, draw a model. Remember, don't be afraid of using your hands or drawing pictures in math. They are both super helpful, okay? All right, let's put our attention on the green fractions over here on the right side of the screen. we've got 7/8 minus 1/8. Again, first thing I'm noticing is the denominators. These denominators here are like, they're the same. So that means we're going to be able to go ahead and get busy solving it. Next thing you should do, pause, make sure you pause the video, picture what this looks like in your head, what 7/8 looks like, and what it looks like when we subtract 1/8. Make sure you can see that. After you can see it in your head, let's subtract it. 7 minus 1, subtract the numerators. 7 minus 1 is 6. Do we subtract the denominators? Y'all better be screaming, Mr. C, we never subtract the denominators. Don't subtract the denominators. All right, good. You're understanding it. Nice work. Do not subtract the denominators. Denominators would stay the same. So, is our answer 6/8 what you were picturing in your head? When you pictured this in your head, 7/8 minus 1/8. When you put that model in your head, did you get this answer? If not, or if you want to double check yourself, draw a model. Wait, what's that, Mr. C? Oh, should I draw a model to double check myself if I don't quite understand? Why, you know what? You should. You should draw a model. Don't be afraid to. Draw it, okay? If you're going super fast and you're like, you know what? I'm done way before everybody else. Let me just double check. Double check, all right? Slow yourself down. Let's keep working, all right? How about we try 2 more? All right, we got 2 more here on the screen. We've got our orange fractions and our blue fractions. Let's start with our orange fractions, shall we? So we've got 6/6 minus 1/6. Feel free to pause me and kind of try this one on your own if you'd like. So first thing I'm noticing is the denominators. I'm noticing they are like denominators. They're the same. So that means we're going to be able to kind of jump into this and start solving it. The other thing I'm noticing is that 6/6, 6 out of 6, that's 1 whole. Okay, so I've got 6/6, which is equal to 1 whole, and I'm subtracting 1/6. So in my head, what I'm doing to picture this is I am taking the 6/6 and I'm putting that into a rectangle. So I've got a rectangle. I've divided it into 6 equal pieces. All 6 of those pieces are colored in, 6/6. And in my head, I'm going to take away 1/6. Okay, now let's see if my math matches up with what I'm seeing in my head. Subtract the numerators. 6 minus 1 is 5. There we go. It's a bad 5. Give me a second. There we go. We do not subtract the denominators. It stays the same. 5/6 is what I was picturing in my head. What about you? Ask yourself these questions. Did you notice the denominators were the same? Did you picture 6/6 minus 1/6 in your head? Did you subtract the numerators? What did you do with your denominators? All right, make sure you can answer those questions. If you were to have to teach somebody this, make sure you're able to do so. Okay. Where did you make a mistake at? Where are you confused at? What doesn't make sense? Rewatch it, pause, and then let's try this next one together, all right? So we've got 9/10 minus 7/10 on the right side of the screen, our blue fractions. Let me change my color. There we go. First thing you're noticing is what, y'all? First thing you should be noticing is those denominators. They are the same. With that being said, let's keep rolling. Picture this in your head. 9/10 minus 7/10. Picture it in your head, picture it in your head, picture it in your head, picture it in your head. Hopefully I got to you there. Subtract the numerators. 9 minus 7. Let me think. 9 minus 7 should give us 2. Do not subtract the denominators. Did you get this image, 2/10, when you pictured it in your head? 9/10 minus 7/10 would equal 2/10. All right. Where did you make a mistake at? What doesn't make sense? Where are you confused? Rewatch this if you need to. Check out our teaching video in the description below. Also, if you're still lost, go back to our videos from last week and watch us do the same type of things but with models. All right, it's really important that you know what we're doing with models. All right, this skill here takes a little bit of time. Don't give up if you're making mistakes. Look for challenges, ask for help, try some on your own. All right, the more you practice, the better you are going to get. So, if you learned anything new at all, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. That is all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. C, out.